We have an NHL trade to discuss today with the Los Angeles Kings sending forward Carl Hagelin to the defending Stanley Cup champion, the Washington Capitals. We'll get into all the details coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I had discussed in yesterday's video, we did expect to see a trade involving the Washington Capitals and the LA Kings here sometime today, and that deal has finally taken place, with the Washington Capitals acquiring veteran forward Carl Hagelin from the Los Angeles Kings in exchange for a 2019 third-round selection, as well as a conditional 2020 sixth-round pick. Now, the conditions on that pick are as follows. Basically, the Washington Capitals have to win at least 2 rounds with Carl Hagelin playing in at least 50% of the games. So if that takes place, then the 2020 sixth-round pick will go to LA. If not, then no pick is sent over. So it could very well just be a third-round pick in 2019, which either way, in my opinion, is still a decent return for LA. Of course, the LA Kings at the bottom of the standings, kind of starting to go through the process of rebuilding or retooling or whatever you want to call it. But either way, need to shed some salary and start moving towards the future. And this is just another piece in that puzzle here as they continue to make some, some smaller moves at least to head in that direction. That now gives them 10 picks lined up for the 2019 NHL draft. So it's a good start at least. So we'll see what other additional moves they very well might make ahead of the deadline coming up on Monday, February the 25th. Now, for the Washington Capitals, we saw a flurry of activity yesterday. It was originally reported that Devante Smith-Pelly was going on waivers, and then there seemed to be a change of heart with Devante Smith-Pelly going on waivers, which, by the way, he did clear, along with the other guys that were on waivers that I discussed in yesterday's video. There were no waiver claims today. All NHL players on waivers yesterday did clear, and now DSP has been sent down to the minor league affiliate of the Washington Capitals, so he will play in the American Hockey League, at least for the time being. Now, the Washington Capitals do have a game this evening in Toronto. Unfortunately, Carl Hagelin won't have time to be able to make it there to suit up for that game, so he's expected to make his debut at the Caps in the next game. But I do think this is a pretty decent pickup for the Washington Capitals. Obviously, Carl Hagelin brings a lot of experience. He's played a long time in that Metropolitan Division. Obviously, started with the New York Rangers. Was very successful as well with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So you probably recall he was a big part of that HBK line when they were winning championships just a few years back here. So the way things are shaping up for the playoff race down there, is a decent chance we very well could see the Caps and Penguins battle here yet again in the playoffs, whether it be in round 1 or round 2. So certainly, he brings a wealth of speed. Can help out on the PK. The Capitals' PK hasn't been terrible, but it certainly has room for improvement. They've been hanging around 22nd in the NHL, so there's certainly an option there to help with that. Like I said, he just brings a lot of speed, a little bit of grit, and certainly a wealth of experience. Obviously, many of the Capitals players on the roster now were with the team in last year's Stanley Cup run, so they do have some experience that way as well, but you can never have too much of that. Like I said, he can still be a terrific skater and help out and as a depth piece for sure. Hard to say what kind of role this will lead for Devante Smith-Pelly heading into the playoffs, but there's also lots of hockey left. You just never know what injuries could take place, etc. Same thing with Jaskin. The Capitals are still carrying 14 forwards on the NHL roster, even with DSP being assigned to the American Hockey League affiliate. So it would not be shocking to potentially see another move with the Capitals. They very well might unload another contract. One other important note here, as well as the LA Kings did retain 50% of the remaining salary on Carl Hagelin's contract. When he was traded from the Pittsburgh Penguins over to LA, they retained 6.3% to even things out with that Hagelin for Tanner Pearson move as well. So overall, there's a cap hit of $1.875 million going for the Washington Capitals on their cap hit here for the remainder of the season. So at least he comes at a much cheaper price than the original $3 million that he was originally being paid here as for this season. So as always, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this trade down below. I know it's a fairly minor deal, but it's a nice pickup, I think, for the Capitals. I'm not sure that the Caps are done, and I'm not sure that the Kings are done unloading. And I do very well think this is kind of just the beginning here of a flurry of trades. We very well might see more today and into the weekend here as we approach Monday's NHL trade deadline. Should be a very busy time with lots of potential big names changing uniforms. So stay tuned for more information, whether it be a trade or potential trade rumors coming up here as we approach the deadline. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.